DTools has been in the industry for over 20 years, and it's the software platform of choice for over 6,000 system integrators in over 80 countries. We continue to build and improve on our award-winning software, and we have a fantastic team. Our DTools Cloud platform is fresh, modern, and of course web accessible. It works on any web-enabled Mac, PC, or tablet, and is designed to be easy to use, bringing you the power of DTools at an affordable monthly or annual price. And what we're really trying to do here is help you take control of your sales process. DTools Cloud has been designed to help you get up and running quickly. By answering a few simple questions as part of our onboarding process, we can custom configure DTools Cloud to be right for your business. Our goal is to help you make the most of your opportunities through CRM capabilities to help improve client engagement, boost internal collaboration, manage your pipeline, and keep track of all your activities while working with your team. We want you to be able to produce quotes fast and seamlessly and create professional, engaging proposals that help you win more business. DTools Cloud also provides you access to our entire DTools catalog of equipment. We work with a growing number of manufacturers and suppliers to provide you with our product information to build your proposals. And that includes model numbers, product images, descriptions, and even your specific pricing for select suppliers. And by adding products, accessories, and packages to your quotes, you'll be able to present beautiful multimedia proposals and get them signed off on and quickly approved. We're also very excited about our browser-based drawing capabilities. Our whiteboards and floor plan views allow you to upload a floor plan, photo, or PDF, mark it up with text, add products from a quote, or actually build a quote visually by dragging and dropping our products onto the whiteboard. Drawings have always been a part of DTools' DNA, and our whiteboards are just the beginning of expanding on that browser-based drawing capability. And while you're doing your activity daily on a very granular level, we also want to provide you with insights into what that activity means for your business. So we enable you to track trends and results to help you better understand your client engagement and your team's performance, and better manage your sales pipeline so that you can make those business decisions. To streamline your process even further, you can also order products for your projects. We are very pleased to introduce our integration with Amazon Business, which enables you to sign up for an Amazon Business account or connect your existing account to DTools Cloud. Simply add Amazon devices to your proposals and send purchase orders directly to Amazon Business for fulfillment. And just so you know what's ahead, our initial focus with the DTools Cloud was on the sales process. But as we continue to develop the solution, we will be working on adding additional functions to help you manage your entire project lifecycle. So we're working on scheduling, service contracts, and improved design collaboration. All right, so let's hop into the software so I can show you how this powerful yet easy to use platform will scale to meet the needs of your business. All right, so here we are on the dashboard, and this is the first page that you'll see when you log into the application. You can keep track of all the opportunities that are currently open, quotes that you've recently created, any post-sale items that need to be addressed, what might be closing this week, and any outstanding tasks that happen to be open for you. All right, but before I hop into creating an opportunity, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the DTools catalog and what that means. So let's make our way there. So once you arrive on the home page of the catalog, we give you some metrics around all the activity that's happening inside of your catalog. You can also see brands that have been recently added with pricing and items that have been recently added to quotes. Over on the Brands tab, so DTools Cloud has over 100 brands and suppliers that have pricing available for you. So you'll simply click on the brand. The blue check mark lets you know that we're partnered with that brand, and there's a proactive relationship with keeping the equipment up to date. On the dollar sign indicates that we have integrated supplier pricing for that particular brand. So once you get connected, our goal is to alleviate keeping up to date with the ever-changing information around pricing. So get connected. Just to kind of clarify, if you purchased that brand direct, I recommend connecting on the brands tab. For example, Sonos. If you purchase Sonos from a supplier or distributor, perhaps ADI, or if you buy a certain product from Snap, go ahead and connect on the suppliers tab. That way, everything will be in place when it's time to create your purchase order. You'll have everything already set up. So once again, if you purchase direct, select brands. If you purchase from a supplier or distributor, go ahead and connect on the suppliers tab. All right, so certainly, peruse what we have. Our hope is to give you a healthy head start on establishing the equipment that you'll need so that you can quickly get quotes out. If you would like to provide some feedback to us, please do. This is very crucial for us to continue to keep up to date and also new requests. So you can come out here and request that we partner with a particular supplier. You can vote on existing requests. And the same thing goes for features and integrations. We really want leverage our roadmap against what our users are asking for, and the marriage of the two is what we work on. So your feedback is greatly appreciated. All right, so we'll make our way to the My Products tab. So with the catalog or with our library rather, that we give you access to, you can always import new products as well. We have a very nice import wizard. You can create a brand and add equipment for that particular brand manually. We also import up to 2,000 products via an Excel CSV file. So tons of different options on how to quickly establish the database that you'll be working from. Let's take a little closer look on what you're actually downloading from us. Let me just click on a product. So we're providing you with the manufacturer, the model number. The short description tends to be more techy. The longer description, more verbose, your client description. You got a couple images to choose from: front view, back panel view, specifications on this device. Now we are providing you with the MSRP. So if you would like, you can certainly run rules based on the MSRP to populate your selling price as well as your cost. I happen to be connected to Snap because they're awesome. So my cost is actually set by my supplier. So this is that integrated pricing portion that we've been talking about. When you add equipment to a quote and you're connected to a supplier, your cost will automatically be populated based on whatever relationship you have in place with that particular supplier. Now, my selling price, I have a price rule in place. My rule basically says map MSRP to my selling price because I always sell at retail. Go me. But that's another way how to quickly set up your pricing. Now, based on your costs and your selling price, we are tracking the margin on a device level. So as you build your quote, you know that where you'll be profitable in a particular location or a system or the overall proposal. Now I'll make my way down to labor. So there's a couple different ways on how each company likes to manage how to manage their time. In DTools Cloud, we do allow you to manage your labor several different ways. Our default is our per item category labor. So associated to each product by default, we have a duration here. And it's really generic, but more so a placeholder for you to manipulate over time so that you can dial it in. Labor is tricky for everyone. And what we found over the last 20 years that we've been doing business is that associating it to each product is a very efficient and accurate way to charge for time. That being said, we also understand that not everyone likes to work that way. So you can surely add a labor line item, as long as you let us know what type of labor it is. For example, installation versus programming, because those may have different, costs associated with them. So feel free to add labor line items. And we also have tools in place that allow you to add a labor as a percentage of the entire equipment, of the entire job, or the entire product that's in it. So we can surely accommodate whichever way you like to charge for labor. All right, so that's a little bit about what you're pulling down from the DTools library. And while we're here, we'll just quickly touch on packages. As you're quoting any grouping of equipment that you sell repeatedly, just make it a package, save it and forget it. Packages allow you to work really quickly without being less efficient. Really nice part of the sales process. Services, these are those labor line items that I mentioned. You can just add a programming SKU. Basically, it's a time and what you sell that time at. Services can also be grouped. So with one SKU, you're able to have different types of labor and address time over the entire opportunity. So very flexible, very nice for the sales process. Tons of tools so that you can translate costs onto your customer, just to make sure that you are completing these projects on time and on budget as well. And then allowances, again, another great sales tool. You're able to use it as a placeholder for equipment until the customer decides what exactly they'd like to add. For example, I have a $15,000 placeholder for a TV. Not sure what I'm going to sell, but we're going to budget for it. Allowances also have a unique property that allows them to be calculated. So in that use case I mentioned earlier, if you would like to capture labor based on a percentage of the equipment, you can make an allowance calculated, define the condition, and then now once you're done, you'll have a dynamic SKU that when added to a quote will calculate based on the equipment in that quote. All right, so that's a little bit about the catalog. Let's go ahead and make our way to opportunities. And this is where the process starts. On the opportunities dashboard, you have these columns. And these columns represent those key milestones in your sales process. You can have a stage that says, John approved, pending signature. Great. Doesn't matter. The goal for us is that you have these milestones in the process. So you can always create custom stages and give them different weights and, help with your forecasting and what's going to close this month versus this quarter, things like that. And then these cards represent opportunities, and you can pick them up and drag and drop them as they move through the sales process. But I'm going to start a new one with you all today. All right, and let's just say my account name is Ziggy Enos. So she's my customer, and the opportunity name is Enos Residence. All right. When we're going to close, and let's just say Ziggy has $20,000 to spend with us. if you happen to get the budget, right? Most people say you'll never get the budget, but if we are so lucky, please enter it here. What type of project is this? Let's just say it's a retrofit and it's a 5,000 square foot home. And we'll pop an address in here and we'll go ahead and create an opportunity. So here are your opportunity details. You can always edit any of that information that we just entered here, add additional contacts. You got some GPS, Google address stuff happening. Along the main ribbon here, this is the same as the dashboard where all your opportunities were. You can just move this opportunity through your pipeline from this interface as well. So it's just nice to be able to do that. In the quote section, this is where we're going to create a new quote and any revisions that need to happen until this opportunity is won and we come to an agreement. On the new tab, new notes, so DTools Cloud is really built for collaboration. So you can mention your teammates and invite them to collaborate with me on this opportunity. So I could bring Leanne in if she's my programmer or whatever the scenario might be. She'll get a notification that she's been mentioned and added to this opportunity. You can also invite people in this by using these circles at the top here. You can also do tasks from here. So just a nice way to keep all that high level activity on this opportunity. You know, maybe the customer has a brand preference or any hot buttons or Wi-Fi passwords, IP addresses, that kind of stuff. And then under the activities section, you'll get a date and time stamp of all the activity that's happening in this opportunity. So if Leanne makes a new revision or she changes pricing, we'll reflect that in this feed. All right. Now, instead of starting a quote from scratch, I'm actually going to go back to my opportunities tab and take a proposal that I've drafted before and assign it to our new opportunity. So this is just a great way, we're going to copy it to leverage all that work that you already have done towards new opportunities. So I'm sure that you have a way to do that today, but we also do that inside the software. You know, let's clone, modify, and save as new. So here we are inside the quote in our new opportunity. This is where I already had a scope of work populated, so it brought that over. So our goal really is to give your customers tons and tons of documentation that makes them feel as if you've spent 30 hours on it, but it's actually, you know, a way shorter amount of time, hopefully 30 minutes to give them a good documentation. So here's our scope of work. On the overview tab is where we are. Before I leave the overview tab, I just wanted to call out this attachment section over here. So this is where whiteboards come into play, your internal tool. So if you are with the customer in the field, using an iPad is ideal. You can piggyback off of the camera and, you know, of course, use a stylus to take notes. That part of the process is happening organically as you're doing your walkthroughs. So we wanted to give you a space where we can bring that into the fold and allow you to mark up images and take notes. Okay, there we go. Just took a little minute to remap that. But here you take an image, a picture, you're with the customer, we have an eraser, text box, pencils. So really if, you know, this wall is 5 feet, you know, let's just say 8 feet, 5 inches, that sort of thing. Just a great space to to go crazy. You have a pencil. It was just Valentine's Day. Let's draw a heart. But again, a great way to bring that organic part of the process into the fold. Just to call out, you also have an items bucket here. So you have access to your catalog and the DTools library when you're in the field. So if you have a bill of materials that you've created ahead of time, feel free to go to town, and you can also add new items, packages, or allowances to your whiteboard as well. All right, so we were on the overview tab. Let's go down into the design stage. So this is where you're actually going to design the system. As best practice, I like to suggest you want to lay out your list of locations as well as your systems prior to getting started, just so that when you add equipment, you know where it's going and what system it's a part of. It makes it really nice for you to play with the different grouping and display options when presenting to your customers, depending on, you know, how you feel it's best for them to digest the information that you're sending. The main thing to note about here is that for convenience, you can pick these locations up and move them around. You can also drill down. I have a very simple layout, but if you'd like to create more of a hierarchy view, we do allow you to go building, floor, room, closet. So you can go down 5 tiers deep on the location side. All right, so here we are in the kitchen. You have a location, a mini description of that room. You have a dollar amount based on what's in this location. And I have some equipment here. Again, I'm not working from scratch, just piggybacking off of what I have. And I'm going to search items. One thing to keep in mind when searching is that you're always going to be searching your catalog as well as the DTools Cloud library. Now, when you add items from the DTools Cloud library to a quote, we add that item to your catalog on the back end without letting you know. So just another way where you don't have to feel as if you have to pull over and set up this catalog and make sure it's all perfect before you start working. As you quote, your catalog will organically evolve based on the items that you've quoted. So no need to pull over, just start working. From this interface, you can add new items manually, or you can add a new service, allowance, or package on the fly. So let's just go ahead and add a product. I'm going to add, let's go, sure, why not? Let's add this touchscreen. So I've added that touchscreen to my AV system. Actually, I've been prompted for some optional accessories. So this is kind of cool. DTools Cloud does have machine learning built in. So it will kind of start to remember how you like to work. So if I've accessorized this device in the past, we're going to leverage that action towards your future opportunities. So sure, let's go ahead and include the accessories. But one thing to note about these optional accessories is over time, if you do find that your accessories are fixed and versus optional, just go ahead and hard code the accessories to that item. It'll just cut down on the prompts and leave those prompts for items that are truly optional items, maybe an upsell in the feel, or would you like to add, sort of thing. So in this project, I'm going to actually put that control touchscreen into the control system. All right, so that's how you've added the equipment. We have our labor here. Just wanted to mention any changes that you want to make. Feel free to make in this quote. They're job specific versus updating your catalog. So if I decided that we're going to charge 2 hours of installation in this quote, I'll make it It's a one-off. If you'd like us to globally adjust the default labor on that item, you'll make your way to More, and then you'll hit Save Changes to Catalog. So we're always trying to distinguish between job-specific and global. All right, so that's how you add items to a proposal. Let's just check out what this looks like. On the preview, I'm going to just hit Present. Now, one of the cool things about the DTools Cloud proposal is that they are multimedia. So yes, you can print them. However, when delivered electronically, they have a couple cool features rather, that make the sales process a little bit more engaging for your customer. So here I am on the left, we have a menu so that your customers can quickly zone in on the location that they'd like to review. But just to move top to bottom, I've added a portfolio section so you can hyperlink these images in the gallery to your website, for example. Customers are getting really creative, whether it's video testimonials or even 360-degree images of spaces that they've completed to let the customers kind of get a taste of the level of work that you can provide. It goes into my company profile and services, so your Yay Me page, who you are, why you're so awesome. Then the project description, so the scope of work gets mapped here as well. And then it goes into the locations. Here we are in the kitchen with their descriptions, the longer descriptions. Now, depending on how you like to present, you can show as little or as much information as you'd like. So I'm just showing my longer description. However, you can have a shorter description show, and then when the customer clicks on the items, because the proposals are multimedia, when the product detail bar slides out, they'll be able to get more text. So you can give them more content with the, but have them drill down to it versus all of it sitting on the surface. I'm not showing item pricing. It's just what I prefer. But if you'd like to turn that on, if you'd like to show a location breakdown, not location, excuse me. If you'd like to show a labor subtotal per location along with the equipment, you can do that as well. So tons of flexibility with how you'd like to present. Also, my outdoor TV package, I'm not showing anything. I have a name and a quantity, and I should probably add a description here. But it could be $5,000. So depending on you can show as much or as little. All right, and I'll go down here to the summary section. So we have the total of equipment. We're giving a labor. Again, this is the default category, labor, subtotal, and total price. In the attachment section, I went ahead and attached the visual quote that you can create with the customer. I'll review that shortly, but since we're here, let's just check it out. It happens to be a floor plan that I have uploaded, and I labeled each location and just started clicking around and adding items to the page. And building the drawing also builds the bill of materials. Hence why we call it visual quoting. So we'll review that next. It goes into your payment terms and then your terms and conditions. All right. And then your customer will select accept and sign and electronically accept your proposal. Now, we do have a third-party integration with ProPay for credit card payment processing. ProPay allows you to capture the initial deposit in the field. So if you guys decide to go with DTools Cloud, that's another added benefit that streamlines the process even further. After they sign, the next screen will be for them to place their deposit for the project. All right. So that was the design tab. And then I'll make my way down to drawings. So drawings are where you can do floor plans. You'll just upload a floor plan. I'm going to go to view the one that I've uploaded before. So here we are, browser-based drawing. So I have all my locations. So prior to you uploading, we don't know that this is the study. So you'll take this square and hover over the location to define what it is. Once you've defined your locations, we now know what equipment is where based on the drawing. And then I'll just select that touch panel, and let's pop that in the kitchen right there. So I've added that to the quote. So I pulled that from my bill of materials. It says 145 items are not on the drawing page. So it lets you know what you're showing. We don't assume that because you're charging the customer for it, you're going to showcase it in your drawing. So this just kind of helps you keep track of what you're showing and what you're not showing. However, if we had no equipment at all, we can certainly just search the D-Tools catalog and add items to the floor plan, and then they'll populate on the quotes. So when you're with the customer, I can say, hey, you know, we're looking at $75K, this in labor, this in product, this is the breakdown of all the systems, and if you wanted to see the phases as well. But really nice sales tool in the field. Also, just to call out here, you can change the sizes of the icons and play around with your preference. So that's drawings. And then last but certainly not least, your pricing summary. I recommend just visiting this tab prior to submitting your proposal just to make sure that it's a healthy opportunity for your company. As you're looking at a summary of total equipment, what your margins are on the labor, as well as how much labor inside this opportunity. A subtotal, any adjustments that you'd like to make. So this is your discount where you can give them a 10% off because they're a preferred customer of yours, or in the reverse, maybe because they are difficult, we're going to mark them up by 10%. But either direction, this is where you'll do that, and we let you know if you're taking it off the equipment or if you're taking it off the labor. And then overall margin on this job, 57%. So hopefully the boss is happy. That's a good, healthy job. A breakdown of the equipment by location or system. And then certainly looking at a labor breakdown. Just wanted to call out this difficulty factor here. If you have different phases of labor, or you can just double the difficulty because you know that the walls are concrete versus sheetrock, things like that. Again, we've been doing this for quite some time, so it's hopefully you enjoy using a tool that was built by a system integrator. So we're certainly in tune with the challenges that you face and hopefully have the features to help you capture the additional costs. All right, so that is the quote. Let's go back to the opportunity, and let's just say Ziggy is happy and she signs the proposal. We get a notification. I wanted to mention notifications. Every time your customer opens the proposal, you'll get an email, and this bell inside the software will also start counting up. These are your in-app notifications that there's activity happening around your proposals. But once you receive that signed agreement, let's go ahead and update this to 1. Yay. Now, if you click on it by mistake, we do give you an out, but let's go ahead and move forward and create a project, which is awesome. Very key milestone in the process. It's an opportunity, so you do have that CRM workflow, and then one opportunity is a project. All right, so here we are on the Projects tab. And if you are using QuickBooks Online, at this stage, we would let's send the QuickBooks estimate over to QuickBooks Online. Pardon me, let's go ahead and log in here. Should have did that ahead of time. Let me go ahead and sign in. Now, if you are using QuickBooks Desktop, we currently don't have an integration yet. We're currently researching, trying to find a elegant way to take those local files and securely convert them into a format that would be acceptable to our application. But stay tuned. We'll certainly let you know our progress on that front. But let's send this over to QuickBooks as an estimate. And we're not an accounting application. Our goal is really to eliminate the double data entry that would happen at this stage. We just want you to quickly send this information over. So I'm going to try to map this customer and see if they exist in my QuickBooks. If they don't, the next step would be to create that customer, and we'll send them over. And then we'll do the same thing with the items. All the items in this particular project have already been mapped to the items in my QuickBooks. If not, I would have received a pop-up listed with all the items that weren't assigned to my QuickBooks, and then one by one you would assign them. And the drop-down pull from your chart of accounts, whether they're inventory or non-inventory or however you classify that product until all of the equipment is assigned. And then here we are at the last step, which is to send over the estimate. If you'd like us to maintain any groupings, please let us know. Most people like location. And we'll create this estimate over in QuickBooks. So it's estimate 1051. And then I will go to my QuickBooks, and that customer should be here and ready for invoicing at this stage. Let me double click. There we go. And here is that customer and the entire bill of materials. And now we're hands off. Again, QuickBooks will certainly manage this moving forward. All right. Let's go back to the DTools cloud side, and let's just say this customer gives us a call. They changed their mind. That never happens, right? So now that there's money involved, it's not, let's do a change order. So let's go inside and create a new change order for this person. Maybe it's a TV upgrade. We can give it a description. And then we'll go right to the same tab, the design tab, where you'll be able to access the entire bill of materials. And let's make a change. Let's say the customer would like to delete the XBR and add let's make this a positive change, the Sunbright. So we have this key inside the locations view on the side, lets you know what location that delta is happening inside of, which is really nice as your projects get more complex. This is really helpful. And you can see in the bill of materials what we've added and what's been removed. Along the top here, you can see the net new bill of materials, what has changed, what's been added, and what's been removed. So hopefully there's something in there in one of those views that is how you'd like to see this change happen. You also get a positive or negative summary. Right now we're up 7K, so this is awesome. And then we'll go ahead and just present this change order to the customer. lets the customer know what's been removed, what's been added, and what they now owe us. And they'll be able to accept and sign that change order. And only then do we update the bill of materials after the change order has been accepted by the customer. All right, so let's go ahead and just accept this change so that we can order the correct equipment. Okay, so we have a change order. And then, of course, we'd want to amend the estimate over in QuickBooks and push this there as well. And then we can invoice them for the difference. So really nice back and forth with adding to QuickBooks. Under item status, this is where we can start ordering the equipment. In this project, I have a lot of cable. Let's just say you can select all or simply cherry pick. I'm going to just select these two products, and you can mark them ready to order. So if you have an internal workflow, that's like the passing of the baton, if you will. You can create a new purchase order, or you can, of course, export this to a PDF or Excel. I'm just going to add to order. Now, I have an existing PO that's in a draft state for SNAP. So the software is going to say, hey, do you want me to add this to your existing PO, or would you like to create a new one? So why not amend the one that I'm about to send? And then lets me know exactly what's on this PO for SNAP. This PO is across 3, 6, 8 projects. So it's really easy to create one PO across multiple projects, or inside of one project, you can have multiple POs for different suppliers. Tons of flexibility towards the procurement of the equipment that you need to order the equipment. We can also send this PO over to QuickBooks. So again, we keep on feeding that through. If you want to see what this looks like, let's just, we can automatically email this to Snap. Let's just take a look at what the purchase order, unique PO number, date, who your supplier is, the account number, any specific notes that you have to that supplier, and then the items. So simple, straightforward. All right. And then once you have submitted your purchase order, you can keep on moving down the main navigation to your shopping cart. This is where you can manage your purchase orders on what's been ordered, partially received, completely received. If items have been flagged, ready to order, they kind of sit on the back end here for the next round, if you will. All right, and then certainly last but not least, we talked about the business intelligence for your opportunity, but the business intelligence for your company. So here you can always see the amount of business that has been closed by defining the time period. You can see how many opportunities were won and your sales velocity. So from the time that you submit the proposal to the time that it comes back signed, just kind of nice to keep an eye on that, whether it's a 60 days or 45 days or within 30 days. Closing ratio. I am killing it. I'm the only person in here. So, but really nice, and who your sales leaders are. So that's the sales report. And then you want to look ahead just to see what's in the pipeline, what's forecasted to close this month versus what's in the overall pipe for the year so far. Just some nice metrics to help keep your pulse on the activity and keep everything moving forward. All right. So I hope that I was able to show you how dTools Cloud can help streamline your sales process, create detailed quotes and multimedia proposals to help you win more jobs and manage the procurement of your products. As I mentioned earlier, we're always adding new capabilities to the software all the time, so we'd love your feedback. And please let me know how we can help. Thank you.